that one tooth of theirs will be as big as the mountain of Uhud. And brothers, the mountain of Uhud is not a small mountain. It's a great mountain, describing one tooth out of 30 or 32 teeth in your mouth. One of them is as big as the mountain of Uhud. Then imagine 32 of them. Then imagine the head. Then imagine the body. When the Prophet ﷺ describes the distance of the shoulders as 3 days journey. 3 days journey. And 3 days journey to them is 1 day is about 30 to 50 kilometers. To us it's different. To them they had the camels. 3 days journey. The Prophet ﷺ describes the thickness of the skin as also 3 days journey to taste the hellfire and the punishment of the hellfire. And this is real. This is not something that we're just talking about. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us just to hear and listen. This is real. This is something that if you not prevent yourself from the fire of hell, you'll end up like that. You'll end up the way the Prophet ﷺ described. And Allah Azza wa Jal promised. And He promised. And Allah Azza wa Jal fulfills His promise. The Prophet ﷺ describes it. That 1,000 years the fire of hell was burning until it became red. Then another 1,000 years until it became white. Another narration until it became red. And another 1,000 years until it became black. The Prophet ﷺ described the fire of hell as black, black, black. The flame of the fire was black. And the people of the hellfire are black. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, يَوْمَ تَبْيَضُّ وُجُوهٌ وَتَسْوَدُّ وُجُوهٌ فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ اسْوَدَّتْ وُجُوهُهُمْ أَكَفَرْتُمْ. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, the day where people's face will be white and the people's face will be black. The people's face will be black because they denied. They disbelieved in Allah. And about the ones, their faces became white. Allah Azza wa Jal promised them paradise. The faces of the people of the hellfire is black. They'll be eating from the hellfire, drinking from the hellfire. They'll be clothed from the hellfire. Their food in the hellfire, Allah described it as شجرة الزقوم طعام الأثيم كالمهل يغلي في البطون كغلي الحميم. Their clothing, their food comes from a tree. It's called the tree of Zaqqum. This tree of Zaqqum, Allah Azza wa Jal described the head of it. The heads of the tree of Zaqqum is the heads of the devils. So ugly that the Prophet ﷺ said, if a drop from Shajarat al-Zaqqum, from the tree of Zaqqum, if a drop will be dropped on earth, it will rotten all the earth. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, imagine if it's your food. Imagine if it's your food that you'll eat, it will come out with your intestines. It will destroy you. Food from the hellfire. Food that Allah Azza wa Jal described it as ghislin. And ghislin is the dirt of the pus and the burning of people. You'll be drinking that and eating that if you do not rescue yourself from the hellfire. Their clothing is from the hellfire. And one of the scholars said, Subhanallah, glorify to Allah, How He made clothes from the hellfire. How He made clothes from the hellfire. The Prophet ﷺ described the depth of the hellfire as if you throw a rock for 70 years will not hit the end of the hellfire. That's how deep the hellfire is. 70 years a rock will be flying to reach the end of it. It will not end. That's how deep the hellfire. Allah Azza wa Jal had assigned angels to punish the people of the hellfire with hammers. That the Prophet ﷺ described these hammers as from hellfire to punish people. Allah Azza wa Jal described the people of the hellfire will be chained in chains from the hellfire. Chains from the hellfire. The Prophet says one chain is enough to change this whole world. One chain is enough to change this whole mankind. They'll be changed. They'll be chained in the hellfire from fire. And they'll be dragged like prisoners and inmates in the hellfire. A punishment for them being disobedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A punishment for them having pride in their hearts. A punishment for a promise that Allah Azza wa Jal promised, that pride is my clothes and the greatness is my cloth, and whoever will challenge me on one of them, I'll throw him in the hellfire. That's the hellfire. Allah Azza wa Jal said in the Quran that He'll be punishing. He'll punish the disbelievers until He burns their skin. Then Allah Azza wa Jal said, بَدَّلْنَاهُمْ جُلُودًا غَيْرَهَا لِيَذُوقُوا الْعَذَابِ. And then we'll exchange them with other skin for them to taste the punishment, for them to taste the hellfire. Every time the skin is burnt, Allah Azza wa Jal exchanges them with another skin. Every time their skin is melted, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replaces them another skin. Every time the skin is worn out, Allah Azza wa Jal replaces them with another skin. To no end. خالدين فيها أبدا. Endless. In a day where Allah Azza wa Jal will order the people of the paradise will be in the paradise, and the people of the hellfire will be in the hellfire. And then Allah Azza wa Jal will order an angel to come with a sheep, death in the form of a sheep. And then Allah Azza wa Jal told the people of the paradise, do you know what's that? So they say, yes, it's death. And then Allah Azza wa Jal tells the people of the hellfire, do you know what's that? Then they say, yes, it's death. Then Allah Azza wa Jal orders the angel to slaughter the sheep. And then He'll call to the people of the paradise, oh people of the paradise, you are living, eternal, no death. And then He looks at the people of the hellfire, oh people of hellfire, you are living, eternal, no death. For you, eternal luxury. For you, eternal punishment, hellfire and hellfire. The people of the hellfire, if they do want to speak to others, they'll be swearing at others, cursing others, blaming them. For them, they entered the hellfire. They'll be cursing others, especially their leaders, especially their big heads, their followers. They'll be swearing at them, saying, if it wasn't for you, we'll end up in the fire of hell. Ya Allah, we wish we heard and listened to our messengers. Remember this. Remember who you follow. Remind yourself who you follow. Who do you love? Who do you have in your life?